Hello and welcome to Small Business Marketing Podcast, where we make marketing stress-free for you. I'm your host, Prati Kaufman. And today we're going to dive deep into a very common fear that all small business owners face at some point. And it is something I don't feel is discussed enough and talked about enough. And it's called imposter syndrome. Yes, you have heard the term, you have felt it. There are many times when you're showing up online, talking about how brilliant you are, what your expertise is, and you feel like, oh God, am I being a fraud? Do I come across as someone who just talks about things but not know things? Am I really an expert? Can I claim that? All these thoughts which are like making you feel small, making you doubt your ability to deliver on something amazing. That feeling where you feel like maybe you're faking it or maybe you're not good enough. It's really, to me, is a sign of growth that you are doing something which you're uncomfortable now. But at the same time, if you allow it, it can hinder your growth. It can prevent you from reaching out to people who may truly need what you have to offer. So I was talking to another small business owner who just starting out and made a promise to someone to deliver on something. And after doing everything within his power, he was not able to deliver on the commitment. And the person in front of him told him that he's a loser. And that really hurts, right? When you've done everything you can, you're doing, you're showing up, you're hustling, you're learning, you really want to do your best, and then you're not able to deliver and somebody calls you loser. It makes you question all that you're doing. And then you get this nagging fear. Are people going to find out? I'm not an expert, or I'm not as competent as I present myself to be. So we're going to talk about what that feeling is and how to overcome it and how to manage it the right way, where you are not letting it stop you from growing into the best version of yourself. So let's first start with the fundamental. Why do we feel we are not enough? Even though we have so many, you and I think we all have met so many successful people who still feel not enough. And why does it even happen? And I really think it's because of what we are conditioned sometimes to believe about ourselves, and also the high standards we set for our own self. We are way more forgiving with others and their mistakes and their faults than we are with our own self. And then there's a whole world out there on social media which kind of showing your curated success of how there are people selling how to go from zero to, six figures in 90 days. And after hearing it so many times, you kind of start to believe that. And here's the truth, by the way, between you and me, that doesn't happen. There's no 90-day success in life, okay? Even if it feels like it's a 90-day, there's a whole lot of work has put in the back where we have no idea about, okay? So there's no 90-day plan just between you and me. But it can feel like, oh my God, am I not doing enough, or am I not doing the right thing? Why can't I do the same? And that creates a feeling of not enough. For me, because I didn't know English at all when I was growing up, and I went to college where everybody could speak English, and I really had a thick accent, and I didn't know how to dress, and I was made fun of about everything, and really it's very damaging to a young person when you hear that you're not good looking enough, you don't know how to speak, and you're just like nothing. And it takes a long time to overcome that. So what are the things, I did to overcome? So one thing, when people said those things, it only fueled me, my desire. And I was like, watch me, I'm going to show you, right? So you can use that feeling of not enough. Take action to overcome those limiting beliefs and the fears that stop you from moving forward. So that's one way of doing it, is get that energy and fuel it into the action to even do more of what makes you feel less. Second thing, write affirmations. It's a very powerful thing. You wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am amazing. I am awesome. I am on my way to success. I am doing the best I can. There's something so empowering about looking at yourself eye to eye in the mirror and saying those things. You kind of start to change the way you think, and your limiting belief about things start to drop off automatically if you do it long enough. Third thing to overcome limiting belief that I do is really understanding the energy of it. Now, I'm a human energy expert, so for me, everything is energy. I can use the energy to drive myself forward or keep myself spinning where I am spending the energy like on a hamster wheel rather than moving forward. So one of the things I think when I think of imposter syndrome is, gosh, right? Like it means I am ready to grow, right? I am feeling like a fraud because I am doing something which is very uncomfortable. I'm stretching out of my comfort zone already. That means I'm ready to go to the next phase or next version of myself. So that's a thing to celebrate, right? You don't want it to be like, oh my God, it's so bad. No, it is really good. It's really good that you're feeling like a fraud. That means you are growing. You are in a different place than you were a month ago or 3 months ago or 6 months ago. Use that feeling to live up to that you want to become. So that's how you can really overcome imposter syndrome. One, use the energy to fuel you into action. Second, write affirmations or speak affirmations confidently in front of the mirror. There should be no one who cheers for you more than you do. And the third is understand the energy. That just means you are ready to grow. Now grow and make mistakes. It's okay because in the process of growth, you're going to make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, that means you are not growing. So be okay with it, learn from it, and move on. So that's how you handle imposter syndrome in marketing yourself.